The first news: tag team Ashton and Mila attend wrestling meet at his alma mater. A wrestling a wrestling meet at University of Iowa had some surprising star power over the weekend. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were among the crowd. The Lovebirds and That 70s Show alums were appropriately dressed down in jeans and t-shirts for the sporting event on Saturday, which pitted Kutcher's alma mater against Penn State in Iowa City. However, the Two-and-a-Half-Men star had on a Hawkeyes shirt to the delight of the hometown fans, and the school's former but acclaimed coach Dan Gable, who sat with them. Needless to say, folks in attendance were excited to see the couple seated a couple rows up from the action. A flurry, a flurry of posts went up on Twitter about their presence, including this one. There were photos too, including several of the backs of their hats. Better luck next time. Among the potpourri of Twitter photos, though, there were a few gems, like this fan having his picture taken with the Hollywood couple. The duo gamely smiling for an amateur shutterbug. Mila returning a pen to a fan after signing an autograph, and this shot of them holding hands as during intermission. Despite their presence, they didn't help the Hokies get a victory. They lost to Penn State's Nittany Lions 24-12. The couple has long enjoyed tagging in sporting events together. They've even been known to wear matching jerseys. But this was obviously extra special seeing as it's where Kutcher briefly attended college before embarking on a modeling career. The 35-year-old was a wrestler in high school, but was never skilled enough to make the team in college, according to an article in the school alumni bag. However, through the magic of movies, he played an Iowa wrestler in 2009's Personal Effects. His character taught a young tribal boy how to channel his aggression into the sport, and Kutcher was decked out in Hawkeyes gear throughout the movie. Kutcher and Kunis, who have been the subject of new wedding rumors now that his divorce from Demi Moore is official, are likely visiting his family in Iowa for the holidays. Kunis is already in tight with the Kutcher clan. His mom visited the duo in LA for the holidays, and Kunis was seen shopping with her possible future mom-in-law. The second news: lone survivor depicts U.S. Navy SEALs' camaraderie in Afghan tragedy. New York: from shooting down a helicopter to firefights, film director Peter Berg spared no details to recreate a tragic United States Navy SEALs mission in Afghanistan in Lone Survivor, an unflinching account of one of the worst losses of life in the history of the Special Operations Force. The film, which opens in limited theaters in the United States on Christmas Day and wider release on January 10, 2014, is based on the best-selling book by Marcus Luttrell, the only man who lived to recount what happened during the covert June 2005 Operation Red Wings, in which 11 SEALs and 8 soldiers died. Two-time Oscar nominee Mark Wahlberg plays Lautaro, a medic and a sharpshooter who was one of a four-man team dropped by helicopter in the rugged mountains near Afghanistan's border with Pakistan on a mission to find a Taliban leader. The operation was compromised when three Afghan goat herders stumbled upon them, leaving the men with a moral dilemma that would lead to the deaths of their unarmed captives of their own or their own or their own. The dominant experience for me was the brotherhood that existed between these four men, the tragedy of their loss, said Berg, the director of 2012's action-adventure film Battleship. Not long after releasing their Afghan captives and scampering further up the mountain hoping to be rescued, the SEALs are outnumbered by Taliban on three sides. They are forced into a firefight and to hurl themselves off steep cliffs, tumbling like rag dolls, slamming against boulders and trees, shattering limbs as bullets and rocket-propelled grenades whizzed by. We fought them for hours and hours until we ran out of bullets and we ran out of blood, said Lautaro, who, despite wounds and a broken back, crawled for miles and was saved by the kidneys of an Afghan villa. Battle scenes. Berg, 51, holds nothing back in the intense, brutal battle scenes, depicting war in all its gruesome detail. A helicopter carrying more shells and soldiers sent to rescue Lautaro and his team is blasted out of the sky, killing all on board. Camaraderie, war, and bravery are recurring themes for Berg, an actor, writer, and producer, who also directed the 2007 action thriller The Kingdom. I consistently find myself attracted to the psychology of violence and people who are willing to put themselves in this kind of situation, said Berg, who spent time embedded with the SEAL team before adapting Luttrell's book for the screen. The film from Universal Studios, a unit of Comcast Corp, garnered some positive early reviews, although, as the Hollywood Reporter film critic Todd McCarthy noted, the tough subject matter may limit its box office success. The film is rugged, skilled, relentless, determined, narrow-minded, and focused. Everything that a soldier must be when his life is on the line, McCarthy wrote in his review. Joining Wahlberg is Taylor Kitsch Savages as Michael Murphy, the on-ground team officer who was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his efforts to save his men. Emile Hersich, Into the Wild, portrays Danny Dietz, the team's communications officer, while Ben Foster is sonar technician Matthew Axelson, and Eric Bana is Eric Christensen, the commander of the operation. Lautaro, now 38 and retired in Texas, and other SEALs were on the set when the film was shot in New Mexico, helping Berg and the actors portray what happened as accurately as possible. Wahlberg, 42, admitted being nervous about playing Lautaro and about the scrutiny the film would receive from the families of the men who died, the SEAL community, and the military as a whole. but he felt the film needed to be made. I saw the importance of it as being bigger than my fears and insecurities. Wahlberg said in an interview, I just thought I needed to be a part of it and needed to get the story told. Wahlberg dismissed any suggestion that Lone Survivor is a machismo gung-ho war film, and he said he wanted audiences to have a stronger appreciation for what those guys do. This is by no means a pro-war movie. The third news: NYPD father throws son himself off building. New York: a father threw his young child off the roof of a 52-story Manhattan apartment building in a murder-suicide on the first day he was allowed to be alone with the boy, amid an ugly custody battle with the mother. Police officials said Monday. There was a history of domestic turmoil, Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly told reporters. Dmitry Konarikov picked up his 3-year-old son at 10 a.m. Sunday at the Manhattan Police Precinct, a neutral site negotiated in advance by the parents, to spend time with him for the first time outside of some sort of institutional setting, Kelly said. He picked up the son, and we all know now tragically he went to a building and took the son to the roof, the commissioner said. All indications are he threw him off, and that's when he jumped himself. A friend of Konarikov had once lived in the building, located a short distance away from Columbus Circle and Lincoln Center. Investigators recovered a security video showing the father and son entering without being stopped by the doorman, and located Konarikov's Lexus parked outside. Officers responding to an emergency call reporting two jumpers from the building on the Upper West Side around noon Sunday found Konarikov, 35, of Brooklyn, and the boy on the lower rooftops of two separate nearby buildings. The man was pronounced dead at the scene of his son. Kirill Konarikov was pronounced dead at the hospital, police said. A witness said the boy was wearing Christmas pajamas. The motive behind the tragedy remained murky on Monday. Kelly said there was no note found, and investigators have no evidence Konarikov ever threatened to harm his son. However, at one point, he had told his wife that unless she signed over the house to him and some undisclosed property, he was going to take the child, Kelly said. Konarikov and his wife married in 2009 and lived in Brooklyn, where their son was born a year later. They separated last year, and the mother and son moved to New Jersey and got an order of protection. It's the second time this year that a parent and child have been involved in a fatal plunge from a New York apartment building. In March, a woman clutching her baby son in her arms, plunged 8 stones out of a Harlem apartment window to her death, but the 10-month-old survived. Authorities found a suicide note in her home. The fourth news: natural gas storage tanks are drying up with exports on the horizon. The United States becoming a net exporter of natural gas is an idea that seemed virtually impossible just a few years ago. The increase in domestic natural gas production has been dramatic, thanks to technological developments that have made previously untapped resources suddenly viable. Due to new fracking technologies, the vast ocean of natural gas the United States is currently sitting on may hold the keys to our national energy independence. Sitting on a 100-year supply, that's how Continental Resource Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Harold Hamm describes the amount of available natural gas in the United States. Not only is the U.S. gifted with a huge amount of gas, but prices are now becoming favorable for the industry. As demand continues to rise, the supply glut that had kept prices down for most of the year is starting to wane. For example, due to severe weather conditions across the United States this winter, natural gas recently hit $4.4, representing a 6-month high. The positive underlying fundamentals of natural gas production are rippling through the industry. Exporting natural gas would serve as an additional tailwind for many companies, including Continental Resources, whose production is ramping up. Continental's total production hit a record 141,900 barrels of oil equivalents per day in the third quarter, thanks in large part to its natural gas production, soaring 34% year-over-year. Emerging economies lead in global demand. The rally in natural gas may still have legs, because industry data indicate demand is finally catching up to supply. Recently, the U.S. Energy Information Administration reported that supplies of natural gas fell by 285 billion cubic feet for the week ended December 13. This was a far higher decline than expected. Plus, global demand for natural gas is expected to keep rising, particularly in the emerging markets. This would make ExxonMobil finally look good for the massive natural gas investments it's made over the past few years, including its $41 billion purchase of XTO Energy that has yet to pay off. ExxonMobil now has huge gas operations, particularly in the Permian Basin. That project holds more than 45 trillion cubic feet of recoverable reserves over its expected life. ExxonMobil realized lower downtimes and project ramp-ups in the third quarter, meaning future production growth is likely. Natural gas liquids represent a key consideration of potential importers as well. Consider that Japan and South Korea are major importers of liquid natural gas. Should the U.S. become a major liquids exporter, Chesapeake Energy could be a major winner. That's because Chesapeake is the second largest producer of natural gas in the United States and has significantly increased its liquids production in recent months. One of Chesapeake's strategic priorities is to increase its liquids production. Third quarter operating cash flow rose. Third quarter operating cash flow rose 22% year-over-year, thanks in large part to 31% production growth of natural gas liquids. Specifically, the company's Utica and Marcellus shale plays represent its key areas. Production at Utica and Marcellus increased 91% and 53%, respectively, in the third quarter versus the same period last year. Keep an eye on natural gas exports. The U.S. is sitting on an ocean of natural gas. Global demand for natural gas is growing, which means the U.S. is in prime position to become a major natural gas exporter. Moreover, the price of natural gas has increased so significantly over the past couple months that domestic producers are greatly incentivized to ramp up production. Integrated behemoths like ExxonMobil, as well as smaller players like Continental Resources and Chesapeake Energy, stand to win big from this. As a result, investors should consider the possibility of exporting natural gas as an exciting way to generate future growth. These three companies have helped create the current natural gas revolution. Record oil and natural gas production is revolutionizing the United States energy position. Unfortunately, identifying the winners isn't always easy. Thankfully, the Motley Fool is offering you a free, comprehensive look at three energy companies set to soar during this transformation in the energy industry in our special free report. Three stocks for the American energy bonanza. Don't miss out on this timely opportunity. Click here to access your report. It's absolutely free. One of the world's greatest stock pickers is on a new mission to make you rich. It all begins on Thursday, January 30. That's when Motley Fool co-founder David Gardner will plunk down a sizable amount of cash on a single stock, and we'd like to share all the details with you in advance. Click here, it's free. Bob Ciara has no position in any stocks mentioned. The Motley Fool has no position in any of the stocks mentioned. Try any of our foolish newsletter services, free for 30 days. We fools may not all hold the same opinions, but we all believe that considering a diverse range of insights makes us better investors. The Motley Fool has a disclosure policy. Discover the one stock most deserving of a large real money investment to click of 2014. One of the world's greatest stock pickers, owner of 235 plus baggers, 420 plugs baggers, and two 10 plus baggers all in the last 12 years is on a new mission, and it begins with a sizable investment in one stock on Thursday, January 30. Comments from our foolish readers help us keep this respectfully foolish area. This is a place for four readers to discuss, debate, and learn more about the foolish investing topic you read about above. Help us keep it clean and safe. If you believe a comment is abusive or otherwise violates our fool's rules, please report it via the Report this comment icon found on every comment. There is a bit of confusion in the section on Chesapeake Energy where it discusses liquefied natural gas. Liquefied natural gas is a different product than natural gas liquids. Natural gas liquids are a form of very light oil and other liquid products that are produced as a byproduct of natural gas production. These products are marketed similarly to crude oil and command a premium over crude because of the lack of pollutants that need to be refined out. Liquefied natural gas is a compressed and cooled dry gas that has been processed through a liquefaction plant and prepared for export. Chesapeake Chesapeake has increased its production of natural gas liquids due to the increased revenue from marketing such liquid products as compared to the sale of natural gas, of which has been affected by low price and high supply in recent years. However, additional natural gas liquefaction plants which will be coming online in the next few months and years will indeed increase Chesapeake's Chesapeake's revenue as dry natural gas can then be processed and exported to markets outside the United States. The The fifth news: San Antonio's most amazing hotel pools. Remember the Alamo and don't forget your swimsuits in this winter-friendly city. For a place that rarely gets snow, San Antonio plays both sides of winter well. During the holiday season, the city and its widely popular river walk are awash in Christmas lights, luminaria, and fresh holiday tamales. But since this heart of Texas City usually has mild-weathered winters, the hotel's outdoor pools are also in full swing and nicely heated to boot, alongside a generous assortment of lazy rivers and slides. Here are 5 hotels, many just outside the city in the Hill Country Zone. W. Here you can splash all winter alone, or sometimes even get a view of the Alamo. JW Marriott San Antonio Hill Country Resort and Spa. At 6 acres, this 1,002-room JW Marriott Resorts River Bluff Water Experience is the biggest pool zone in the San Antonio. A 1,100-foot lazy river winds through native trees, while a shorter but still 650-foot motorized river gives you some rapids and few more thrills. The 2 main pools, meanwhile, feature 2 kiddo slides, one 315-foot slide, and a zero-depth entry. Bonus: the water is seasonably confined, heated to 82 degrees. Hyatt Regency Hill Country Resort and Spa. This 500-room ranch house-style Hyatt Regency Resort, 25 minutes from the Riverwalk, has a 5-acre water playground with a 950-foot lazy river and 2 pools separated by a waterfall. Not that anyone could resist taking a dip in a giant pool shaped like the Lone Star State. But this time of year, the Texas pool is extra appealing, since it's also heated to a balmy 75 degrees. Come May, the resort will also have a flow rider surfing simulator. LA Cantra Hill Country Resort. The 508-room Lake Conchara Hill Country Resort is filled with fun facts from Texas history and is aesthetically inspired by the area's famed King Ranch. The Lost Quarry Pools, named after the area's limestone mines, comprises 6 pools and 3 hot tubs, with the pools heated to 78 degrees, including separate pools for lap swimming, volleyball, and a water slide. This time of year, the resort also has an outdoor ice skating rink. Hilton Hill Country Hotel and Spa. The Hacienda-inspired hotel has 3 heated outdoor pools, a limestone-trimmed, lagoon-style pool with a fountain, a child-friendly beach entry pool, and a lap pool for grown-ups. The 227-room Hilton Resort also features play areas and a basketball court. But there is a large distraction next door. The hotel is less than a mile from SeaWorld and offers a regular assortment of theme park bundled packages, some of which include free admission for the kids. Hatta Regency River Walk. There's no lazy river here, but kids will get a great bird's eye view of the city. This 632-room downtown Hyatt Regency is one of just a handful of Riverwalk-based hotels that have a rooftop pool. This hexagonal swimming hole on the 11th floor is bigger than most in town and offers 360-degree views of the city, including the Alamo.